Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at NECA's SDCC exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze KENO with Scooter. That's a mouthful. This is the new KENO figure. I do suspect this is just my own personal hunch. We'll get another KENO figure released later on. Maybe even the one where he goes in for like the tryout for the Foot Clan. That'd be cool. But this is the one we have for now. It does come with the scooter and some other stuff I'll talk about when we get to the accessory section. It's not accessories, but I'll talk about it later. But this was sent to me by NECA. Most of my NECA stuff is, not all of it, but most. And so I have to tell you how good it is and say nothing else. No, of course, I can say whatever I want. And I definitely do have some things I want to say about this figure. As good as it is, there are some things to talk about. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alrighty, as has become customary on this channel, I have to show you my package before we get started, just because the NECA people, not the people sending it, the viewers, you guys have asked me to show you the packaging. So this is the front. It's just a window box, no flaps or anything. Side is relatively uninteresting. Back is also, I mean, there's nothing special. There's no artwork or anything, so it's just shots of the figure. So there's really no reason to look at it, but now you have. You can't say I didn't show you. But before we get into the rest of the video, we have to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Into the AM. They are the Elevated clothing company. They have all of these cool designs in the t-shirts. They have other things too, but I really focus on the graphic tees because I love them, and I think you guys will too. Most of you have bought them. Not most of you, I don't know. A lot of you have bought them and told me you love them. Some of you are telling me you're buying like 10 or 12 at a time. That's awesome. I have that many. I wear them every day. They don't fade, they don't wear out, they look amazing. They have a ton of new designs. This is one of them. This is one of them. I actually wanted to wear this one, but it's just a little bit less colorful, so I figured I would just show it to you, wear the colorful one, and then show you another colorful one too. These are some of their new ones. You guys have already seen all the ones I've been wearing. They have tons. They have tons of new ones, tons of old ones. They do sell out fast, but they do restock, so don't worry too much, but you do want to get in there. But yeah, you can get all kinds of different things on their site, and if you want to save some money, you can use the link in the description below. That'll save you some money. You can also bundle the graphic tees or the regular tees, or you can do the subscription service where you save even more money, but you don't get to pick the shirt. Totally up to you, but I definitely recommend you check them out. They're super comfortable, they look great, they fit great, can't beat them. Love these shirts. They are the best graphic tees I have ever worn, so check them out, link in the description below. And I guess I'll just show you, get a t-shirt. I don't think you get to pick the size ever, no matter what. Maybe you did if you ordered online, but I didn't, so I don't know. Mine's just a large. But then you also get a keychain and a magnet and Employee of the Month thingy. That's it. So, frankly, I have never cared about odd pack-ins like that. Like, I get it for Comic-Con, it's kind of like a nifty, cool thing, but for me personally, I'd rather they just spend the money on more plastic for me to buy. You guys can let me know how you feel about that. Alright, this guy stands just about 6.5 inches, including his hair, which isn't super poofy, so I guess that's fine. It's going to be about 16.5 centimeters. There he is up against Darwin, Marvel Legends. They are just about the same height, so he's technically too big for 1/12 scale, which is reasonable because the turtles are not technically in 1/12 scale, so that is fine. Alright, so anyway, what I was saying at the start of the video is that they do provide me a lot of review samples, but they have always been perfectly happy with me saying whatever I think, and so that's fine. And I know these kind of things, especially Comic-Con exclusives, they are hard to come by, and you might end up wanting to pay potentially a lot of money on eBay, so you need to know the truth. And I only provide that. I do not give you guys reviews that aren't helpful to you just because I got review samples. So let's dive into the aesthetic. I want to talk about the head sculpt right off the bat. Is it a bad head sculpt? I don't think so. However, it's not good enough. It's just not close enough to Ernie Reyes. It's close, and some angles are pretty good, but other angles are definitely off, and I think the main thing is his head is too tall, especially from the eyebrows up. He's got a whole lot of forehead, and it throws it off. And maybe the mouth is too big. There's something about it. It's kind of like an uncanny valley thing, and I'll pull out the alternate head just for a second. I think this head actually looks a whole lot better, and it might be the eye paint job. There's something about it that does look a lot better, but I do still think it has a little bit too much forehead and it's throwing off the overall look. It's not bad, and if you're not doing like a direct comparison and he's just on the shelf, it's going to be fine, but this is the kind of thing that matters. If you're going to be spending a bunch of money on this thing, you might want to know it. Okay, so The paint job is good on the face, not counting anything that makes him look a little bit weird. It's well placed, and it's really nicely done. His coat, I guess you would call it, little speckles all around it. Paint job is fairly clean, but not great for the red. And the red on the jacket does not match the molded red sleeves. It's not terrible, but it's not great. So that's a bit of a bummer. And the sleeves are fairly shiny. Roy's Pizza is nice and clean, and again, more grime and stuff on there. That looks pretty good. His pants are sculpted nicely. No real paint job going on there. And the shoes look really good. They did a great job with the details on the shoes. So it's not a perfect figure. I think the essence of the character is definitely there. I think the overall look is wonderful. It's just the head's a little bit weird. And like I said, it's not necessarily bad. It's just kind of like an uncanny valley sort of thing where there's just something about it that's not quite right. And I really do think the main part of that is the forehead, but it does look pretty good overall. And we will talk about the scooter since it is part of it's not really just an accessory. This is done really nicely. Okay, it's got some translucent plastic in there up front. Obviously, the wheel does work. The tires are rubber. It is surprisingly well done. Good paint job. We do have the thing on the back here, and there's stuff inside. I'll show you that in the accessory section. It does have the little kickstand. It's really, really nicely done. Little details are painted in here. Not as many as there could be, but it's good enough, so that looks really, really nice. So as far as aesthetics go, I'm going to give this set an 8 out of 10. It does look really good, but there's something about the face that it just isn't quite there for me. All right, let's do a quick other question of the day. Accessories like this. For a character like KENO, where yes, he's obviously everybody remembers the scooter, but is it something you really want to be paying money for? Would you rather they give you something else? I personally don't care either way. Like, it's fine, and I'll probably get whatever they make anyway, so it doesn't matter to me, but it's not like I ever thought, boy, do I want the scooter to go with KENO. So I'm just curious how you guys feel about accessories that aren't anywhere near integral to the character. Just another question of the day. Okay, now as far as accessories go, we have the 2 alternate heads. I showed you that, the normal head and then the, I guess, angry head, if you want to call it that. For hands, you have 2 fist hands, 2 relaxed hands, and then 2 gripping hands. Gripping hands do have vertical hinges on them, which is pretty nice. I like that, though he doesn't really have anything to grip other than his pizza bag and his bike, which is the scooter, which is like, those hands are going to be helpful for that. But it did not come with any weapons or anything. But the pizza bag is very nicely done. Even the little receipt on there looks really good. You can open it up and pull out a cardboard pizza box. There's nothing inside the box. And I do believe this pizza box is much smaller than the ones that normally come with the turtles. But it still looks really, really good. So that's a cool enough accessory. But that is it. So he is light in terms of accessories. It does come with those other things that are in the main packaging. But nothing for KENO to hold himself, really. So I'm going to go 7 out of 10. I'm not counting the scooter as an accessory. It's too big, bigger than the main figure, so it doesn't really count as an accessory to me. Okay, let's talk about the articulation. Should be good, but let's find out. Head is on a double ball peg. It moves around pretty well. His hair definitely gets in the way. It's stiff, and it goes right down around his neck, so that's going to limit posability quite a bit, but you'll get your rotations for sure, and a little bit of down, a little bit of attitude, but not too much. For the shoulders, it's your standard swivel, so you get your full rotation there. This jacket is a soft piece, so it'll flex around here. And then you can get the arms out to horizontal. Nothing really noteworthy there. Single jointed elbow, so you just get the swivel and the hinge. The hinge does work a little bit better than 90, and that looks pretty good, so I'll take it. And I think that's going to be sufficient. And then because of the jacket, I think having the swivel down there is acceptable. It's not ideal, but it does look better for the jacket, and it does work well enough, so I'll take it. That's okay. It's not like anything outstanding, but given the bagginess of the outfit, I think that works. Wrists have a swivel, and of course they all have their hinges. For the torso, there's nothing. You can rotate at the waist, and there is some kind of ball peg in there. You're not going to do much because this is basically just solid plastic. There's just that little slit right there. So basically not doing too much in the waist. Let's see how the hips function. That's about as far as you're going to be able to get them, which is probably far enough. It's a little bit better than 45. You can do some kicks and stuff, so that's fine. Hips are not especially tight or loose. They feel just about right, so that's good. Going forward and back, you're going to get about that much without really stressing the plastic. And of course, if you wanted to, I'm not saying I recommend this, but if you wanted to, you could separate this maybe, or cut up a little bit higher on here Yeah, it would give him more range, but of course then you are damaging your figure. Depends on, you know, how you feel about that, but you could do that and that would help the hips out a little bit. There is thigh rotation up there at the hip, so that's good. Double jointed knees, we have the rotating joint up here and then the standard hinge down here. Functionality is good. Not the best aesthetically speaking. I don't like this extra long bone that it creates, so I've never been a fan of this joint setup really. Doesn't look too bad. But if you're going to bend those knees in a deep knee pose, you're going to have kind of a weird look. Ankles go all the way back. That is nice. They go forward, not too far, but probably far enough. And then you get a decent ankle rocker. It's nothing special though. So as expected, his articulation, clearly not the focal point of the figure. They always lean into the aesthetic. Not always, but almost always NECA's about the aesthetic. And then the articulation is going to be just good enough. And that's basically what we have here. I'll give the articulation a 7. It's fine, but it's not impressive. It's going to be just good enough to get the figure posed in a way you want, and you'll probably be happy with that, but it's nothing noteworthy really. What is noteworthy for NECA is always the accessories, the pack-ins, and the aesthetic, and that's definitely what they were going for here, and I think they did a pretty darn good job. Really, my biggest gripe is just that the face could be a little bit better. Not bad, but it's definitely not good enough for me to be happy with it. I'm just like okay with it. So I'm gonna give it an overall rating of 8 out of 10. It is a solid set, but that face could be better and that would bump it up to a 9 easy. But it's not like god awful or anything like that, so I'm okay with it. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you probably should. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.